Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 1 of 5 of Discovering Your Purpose. I have a special guest this whole week, my wife, my bride. She just cut her hair to present these things to you, and she's going to talk to us about 4 specific things you can do to find your purpose. I was listening to this message that she presented the other day in a church. I was so enthralled by her and the presentation that I thought other people should hear this. So we're going to talk today about the first thing that we need to do in order to discover our purpose. So take it away, Bride.
Thank you. So it's kind of funny because he was there watching me do this message, and usually when I speak, he's super nervous and he's on his phone and he's looking away because he's so nervous. But for whatever reason, he was actually watching me this whole time, and I didn't put much attention to it. But apparently,
it was good.
When I moved him, that's a big deal for me. So I praise God for that. The topic that we're talking about is purpose. And different ways that you can figure out what is your purpose. And the first one that I'm going to share with you this on this segment is try new things. I know that sounds really simple, but it's actually a lot of people don't even think that is a way of finding your purpose by trying new things. Mm-hmm. I'm going to share with you a Bible verse. It's found in Psalms chapter 34, verse 8. And it says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him." My son, Jonathan, when he was little, he used to have this really interesting habit.
Yeah, he did.
He would, every food that we gave him, he would always smell it. It didn't matter what it was. It wasn't, even if he liked it or didn't like it, or I knew he liked it or he didn't, but he would always take his food and he'd always smell it. But this is a situation with that. If he didn't like the way it smelled, he wouldn't even try it.
Yeah, that's right.
He wouldn't even try it. And it was such a fight with him to get him to try new things. And along the way, as he got a little older, sometimes coaxing, sometimes harassing, like threatening, but he ended up trying new things and realized that as he tried new things, hey, I do like that. Hey. And even things that he didn't like at first, as he got older or tried them more often or tried them in different ways, he realized he did like them. So the first one is try new things. David in the Bible, we find, did the exact same thing. If you think of David, he started out as a shepherd.
Yes, he did.
He was good at that. Then he became a musician. Then he was a soldier. And finally, he became a king. He tried along the way different things, and all of those things that he tried along the way ended up helping him.
That's a good theological point. That's very
ended up helping him to be able to find his purpose, his final purpose. But all these things he tried. Another thing is, sometimes we let fear get in the way of us trying new things. Brings me back to my other child, Vanessa. I remember when she was really little, and I used to take her to the park to go, just to play, go on the swings and so on and so forth. She loved the swings. She didn't mind that one. But whenever we got her on the slide, it was like she would scream bloody murder. People thought I was the worst mom ever. They were like, "What are you doing to this child?" And she'd go up the slide and she'd get to the top. And then she would cry. She wouldn't just cry. She would scream and scream. And so at first we didn't really make her. But one day, I don't know what got into me. I was like, "You're going to go down that slide because you're going to like it. I'm going to make you." So I pulled her by her pant leg and I pulled her and she went down. And she was like, "Oh," like crying and laughing. And she didn't know if she liked it. She was really confused. So she went and did it again. And she got to the top, did the same thing. And she screamed and she yelled. And she thought she was so scared. But the more I pulled her by her pant leg and brought her down that slide, the more she ended up liking it. My daughter now is a super fanatic of roller coasters. And I say that it all started on that playground. Sometimes the things that you fear don't allow you to try new things because you're afraid of them. Correct. But here, my daughter was a perfect example of that. She was terrified of something, but it ended up being something she ended up liking because she tried it. And finally, I just want to end this point, this this segment, just kind of sharing a little bit about me and personally, and how I was able to find some of the talents and gifts and the purposes that I was good at. I am very grateful for the church, my very first home church that I got baptized into. I was baptized at the age of 16, and I was baptized into a small church, about 100, maybe 125 members on any given Sabbath. And they were very intentional about trying to involve me or get me actively participating in a lot of variety of things, so that I could figure out what I was good at, what were my talents. I remember one of the first things that they got me involved in was the choir. So I was in the choir, and I'm an alto, and I love to sing. And as long as I was in the choir singing with the group of people, I did a very good job. But someone in the choir thought, hey, you have a great voice. And maybe I did, singing in the choir amongst many others, where maybe you couldn't detect it particularly. And they said to me, Kathy, you should sing a solo, just yourself. And so they got me, they picked out a song, they got me practicing it, and it was the day. So Sabbath morning came, that Saturday morning, and I got in front of everybody. I was scared to death. It was the first time I'd ever been on the platform by myself, not in a group or with other people, and all eyes were on me. Everyone was so excited to hear me sing. And the track began, and I didn't go with the track. The track went one way, and I went another. So I asked him to stop and rewind it and start again.
Wow. We've been there, yep.
So I started with the track, and this time I stayed with the track, but my voice did not stay on note with the track. So the track was going on one note, and I was singing in another, and I was so nervous and got lost and forgot the words. Asked them to stop and rewind it. At this point in time, someone should have said, thank you for trying. We appreciate it. But no, when they listened to me, they let me do it. It was horrific. Guess what? I tried something and realized, number one, I didn't like it. And number two, I was not good at it. Really? But someone came up to me afterwards, a few weeks later, and said, you know what, Kathy, you have a beautiful smile. And I thought to myself, well, that's a nice compliment. Not a lot of people, no one had ever said that to me. And they said, I know where I would love to have you help me at. And she was the head deaconess. She said, I would love for you to help me greet people at the front of the church. And so I did. The following Sabbath, I got in my deaconess little outfit, matching everybody with the red. It was red and white that day. So I was wearing red and white, and I stood at the door. I wasn't at the front door, but I was at the door that allowed people to come into the church sanctuary. And I got to meet people by name. It was actually a great position because I was new to the church. So I got to meet people, learn their names by families and their children. And I got to greet them. I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm a social person, and I didn't realize I would really enjoy doing that as much as I did. But you know what? It wasn't just that I enjoyed greeting people at the door. It was actually what happened and the change that it caused in me that helped me realize that this wasn't just a responsibility. This was actually part of my purpose. At Sabbath after Sabbath, as I would, go and I would volunteer to greet people, I started not just greeting them, but realizing, wait a minute, such and such didn't show up this Sabbath. Wow, wait, next week, hey, they haven't come back again. It's been 2 Sabbaths that they're gone. And this started to create like a burden on my heart. So I went home after one of those Sabbaths, and I said, Dad, I'm getting to know all these people, but I'm starting to realize that some people are missing and they're not coming, and it's been 2 weeks. I'm getting worried. And he said, that's great. And he said, let's talk with the, head deacon and the interest coordinator, and let's see what we can do about that. And so I became an integral part of that team. It became a passion for me to not just greet people, but to know where they were Sabbath after Sabbath. They were part of my family, my church family. I missed them. And that, for me, up until this day, now that I am event coordinator and I work with you on the evangelistic series, one of the things that I keep an eye on is night after night of the series, which guest hasn't come, which guest hasn't come back, which members are participating, which one of my volunteers is not, isn't coming. And I'm really in tune with that. And it has caused in me a true compassion and a need to make sure that we are caring for those who are leaving the church, haven't come back. And so for me, by trying different things, I was able to figure out, hey, this is a calling for me. This is one of my purposes in life. And I'm really grateful for my church for giving me that opportunity. So I want to challenge you. What is one thing that you want to try this year or maybe this month that you've never tried, but you want to try it? Think about that. Put that right now on your radar and, say, all right, I'm going to give that a try. And let's see where that turns out. By trying new things, we realize whether we like something or we don't, we're called to something or we're not. Don't let fear get in the way. Give it a try and we'll see where the Lord leads.
Fantastic. As I was listening to you, I thought to myself, everybody that wants to know about their purpose and asks us, hey, Pastor, can you help me with my purpose? Hey, Kathy, can you help me with my purpose? It seems like we want to know our purpose in order to do things. But what you're suggesting is you try things and then you find your purpose. So you're going at it the wrong way. So thank you very much, Kathy, for that first one. Stay with us all week long. We're going to have videos every day on purpose, finding your purpose, developing your purpose, understanding your purpose. So I'll see you on the next time. This has been Encouragement for Entrepreneurs. This month, we're encouraging you. We want to bless you, discovering your purpose. Thank you, Kathy, for today.